the rituals that can be done, the cleansings that can be done with coconut milk and with the brown part of the coconut. You see, you will be told how to turn coconut shell into different things. This is very, very much a complete, comprehensive presentation of food, herbs, and spirit. Okay, so be sure to tune in. Be sure to tell other people about this, because this is how we will keep our healing in our own hands. You got to know how to cook, you got to know how to cure, and you got to know how to conjure.
Thank you, Yay Yay. Again, if you are interested in the 7-month module, you can go to our website, www.naturalchoicesbotanica.com. Click on the Cook, Cure, and Conjure tab, and there you will see all of the modules listed, a short description of the modules that are listed, and you can pay right on online. And at the end of this 7-month course, this course will be followed by a ebook and then a hard copy book. So even if you are not able to participate in the live course, you will be able to pick up the book by the end of the year. So we look forward to seeing as many of you as possible online for class. If you can't attend the class, please share it with someone. We do have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, with the same title, Cook, Cure, and Conjure. And we would love for you to share, like, and subscribe to those pages, and send out the call. We are in a state of emergency for our health, for our minds, for our bodies, and for our spirits globally. No matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, no matter what your religion, your background, your race, your culture is. We are all in a state of emergency right now. When one person is sick, we're all sick. And
Mm-hmm.
one person heals, we all heal. And I believe in the power of healing more than I do in the power of death. Death by
Okay.
the mind, and death of the body, and death of the spirit. So, if this sounds like something that you would be interested in diving deeper into, we invite you to join us for Cook, Cure, and Conjure. Thank you, everyone. If there are any questions, we're going to stay on a few more minutes. We would love to take some questions if you have some questions about this series. And if you just have something on your mind and you may want to ask, this may be the perfect time to ask it. So, our moderator is on the line with us on this live stream, and so we'll be glad to take your questions if you have any questions. Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or Flora? Is there anything that else that you'd like to say?
Well, it isn't fully formulated yet. I'm going to be working on it later on today. But Leilani Byerly, my sister friend who is a Hawaiian kahuna, she and I are planning to do a presentation. I think it's on the 11th of June, sometime next week, called From Crisis to Cure, and we are going to be discussing ways to for people of color and their allies to move through the virus and the violence into a vibrant life. So look out for that, and just know that this faculty and other people that I am associating with, we are very, very aware of what time it is on the planet. We are very, very aware of what is happening to people, and our minds and hearts and hands are set on using what we know and what we can do to bring about the best outcome possible. As Sabande said, we have more faith in healing than we do in death and destruction. So if you are out there feeling bewildered or overwhelmed or looking for leadership, compassionate leadership, this is the place for you. Do not be afraid to approach us at this time. Um, that no question is too simple, okay? And we will do the best that we can to get us through this pandemic and this period of demonic violence.
Flora, is there anything else that you would like to say?
Sure, why not? I'm just bringing you greetings from Costa Rica. And once again, like Sabande and Yeye have already said, we are very much aware of the clock of the planet. And it's a very, very important moment in time, and one that calls all of you, every single one of us, to action and to arm. And arm is actually our knowledge and our education. So if you've been waiting to go into a class to learn more about alternative health, if you've been waiting to learn more about how to be more a master in your own kitchen, if you've been waiting to learn and putting away that shopping and managing your list, and how to be more connected to the earth rather than to the shelves of the supermarket, well, don't wait any longer, is what the message is here. This is the time for you to stand up for yourself, for you to take your own life into your own hands, because indeed it is a beautiful new dawn is awaiting for us if we just take the courage to stand up and to take our position and our role on the front row that we're called to. So this is the reason why we have come together, and why we have decided to share these very basic aspects and what are actually the pillars of life. This is where we get the foundations right, so that we may build a strong building for a new tomorrow on it. So what we're giving here is maybe nothing new to a lot of you, or maybe just a very different way to hear things, and maybe finally a way to connect things in an interdisciplinary way that really brings the importance of why you cook salad the way you do, why you use the oils the way you do, and what does that oil mean in a spiritual context, and what does that oil mean in a scientific and healing context. So all of these little details is what we will be breaking down and trying to look from a 360-degree perspective with you. And it will be a way also to discuss. We're open to discussion with everybody. So we're hoping to bring a very open platform that makes everybody feel at home, and makes everybody feel comfortable with learning, and makes everybody feel comfortable with healing themselves. So once again, I'm really looking forward to seeing so many people on these next 7 courses. And again, after that, with the book coming up, this is where we support each other and we build the network also. So spread the word amongst your friends, the people that you know that might be interested. And these two ladies, let me tell you, they are beautiful storytellers. They know how to break down complicated issues into very delightful and interesting conversation bits. So let's remove the taboo around certain topics and just confront them openly in a way that makes sense, in a way that is practical, in a fresh way that is relevant to us, especially people of color, and especially people who have a connection, a strong connection to nature, and are looking at a way of how to reconnect and how to create a world that is more just and more balanced, and that has the right objectives in sight, one that brings not only nature but also community and people to the forefront. So this is me really hoping that we can finally have an open discussion, and one of dire necessity that starts in your kitchen, and you'll have to sign up to find out why that is. So
We have a
Vande,
question.
yeah.
Somebody asked, what is one concrete thing that everybody can do right now to help get through each day while experiencing these challenging times? I have a couple of suggestions. Item number one, before you get out of your bed, even, I would advise you to recite what you have, a gratitude for what you already have, 11 times. I am grateful for my health, my sanity, and my power. And then for another 11 times, I would say, please recite what you are hoping to or asking to come to you. Okay. Bring to me continued health, continued prosperity, continued love, even before your feet hit the floor. Okay. And then after you wash up or whatever your morning routine is, sit down and drink a cup of cleansing tea and have a healthful breakfast. This will start your day off right and carry you through the day. Okay. And then before you go to bed at night, give praise and thanks to your ancestors and the forces of nature for another successful day in the face of all that is going on now.
Yeah, yeah. Also, if you can backtrack
Hmm.
and reiterate your part for cook, cure, and conjure. I don't. It didn't come out as well on the stream. So if you
Okay.
could reiterate your piece, please.
Okay. So the things that I'm going to do in Cook, Cure, and Conjure is to give you, first of all, folklore associated with the herbs and the foods that we are dealing with here. Secondly, the history of certain dishes, and third, rituals and charms that you can perform using some of the ingredients that Flora and Sabande have used. So we're integrating cooking for health and pleasure, using the herbs for health, and using the spiritual aspects of these same things. This is holism. This is holism. And so what we've done here is, though all of us have various skills, what we've done here is put each of us in a place of their greatest strength to share with you.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Flora, would you like to tackle the question? Do you have anything to as an answer for that question that we have?
Sure. Sure, there are a lot of things because the detail, the devil's in the detail, right? Is a way of saying. So I would say make every moment of your day become sacred. Every gesture you make, transform it into a sacred moment. If you don't have time or space or any specific resources, that soup that you're eating at lunch can become a sacred gesture because you can meditate as to what the soup is going to do in your body, the way it's going to create positive memories and connection in your brain, the way it's going to feed your body to become the warrior that you need to be tomorrow. The glass of water is exactly the same thing. Every time you drink that glass of water, make it a glass of pure water, because not to drink pure water is to insult the water. And water is the most important quality essence that we have on the planet. So your glass of water is sacred. Your moment with your glass of water can be something that is giving you counsel, is something that you can talk to, it's something that responds to you, is something that has come from eons away, from time memorial, and is going to become you. That water is your ancestor that then becomes every molecule within your body. You can do this with water, you can do this while you shower, you can do this with the fruit that you're eating for breakfast. Imagine the trajectory and the route that an orange or an avocado or an apple has gone to you. Send your ashe to the farmers that have cultivated that specific piece of fruit, and feel yourself as being part of the chain and a connection to the earth through where you have put your money, where you have put your intention, where you have put your effort. Every single thing in your life can become sacred. So there are a number of ways of following your intuition and just being present with whatever you're finding in your hands at the moment, whether it be a food, whether it be a drink, or whether it just be the way you turn the pages of your book. So my advice to you in something that you can use and that can be practical is become aware of what is surrounding you and the action that you're involved in this moment, and transform that into something sacred. And if you don't get the sacred part and how to make that a prayer, then just imagine all it took for that object, that food, that glass of water to get to you, and humble yourself as to the role that you have in that infinite chain of existence. Now, only assuming that role of humbleness will make you grateful, and that feeling of gratitude is the best place you can put yourself in a moment like now, where we need you to be sharp, we need you to be present, and we need you to be positive to help build this new tomorrow that is that we're all witnessing at this great of times.
Mhm.
So that's one little advice for that question.
I want to back Flora up on something. If anybody's having doubts about the efficacy of blessed water, I would like to point out to you that there is no tradition in the world that does not use blessed water in some form. Water is a part of the ritual in every tradition in the world, everywhere. Even in desert traditions where there isn't much water, it becomes even more precious. And because many of us have a Western education and need proof, need left brain proof, I would refer you to the works of Dr. Matsuro Emoto, who did a book called Messages from Water, where he took molecules of water and examined them under clinical microscopic conditions to prove that water is both receptive to what we say and responsive to what we feel. So, saying a prayer into a glass of water and then drinking it is a way of embodying the prayer that you just did, and know that as that water goes through your system, it will interact with your intestines, it will interact with your blood, it will interact with your muscles, it will interact with your internal organs, your nervous system, and you will be different. This is natural healing. This is natural magic. This is what we will be dealing in this course. So, this ain't no ooey spooky shit, okay? I want to make that clear, okay? This will make sense to you, and if you really really use it, it will make a difference in your life, especially at this time.
Thank you for saying that, Yaya, because one of the questions that I have in my email is could someone who's Christian or another faith take this course? And so, for anyone who is watching this live stream or the replay, this course is for anyone. It is not binded or designed for a particular race, color, or creed or religion. It is open for anyone. This is everyday, common, practical things and tools and tips to use in your everyday life and your everyday walk. And as I said before, at this precious time on the planet and in the universe, we are all in need of a greater understanding of how our health is infected, affected, and effected. And this course collaboratively helps to bring that together in very simple ways and easy ways that will be conducive for everyone's lifestyle. So thank you, Yeye, for saying that this is not a oogly boogly scare you till you're wrong.
No,
This is not that. So if
no,
you're
it's
on
not
the
that.
fence about the title, if the title is bothering you, maybe you should just probably ask yourself why the title is bothering you. But I do want to say collectively from the three of us is that this course is open for anyone from beginner level to advanced level. It's just basic, a good information in a collaborative style, and
Mhm.
we hope that you will definitely sign on to take this 7 month course with us. I want to answer the question as well. What can you do to get through these times? Well, the first thing I think I would suggest is to take a deep breath. I have found myself in a moment of can't breathe,
Mm.
and that's been a universal theme. I can't breathe. I think a lot of people, if you collectively tap into your subconscious mind, you will also find that you are having moments where you can't breathe. George Floyd could not breathe. Breonna Taylor could not breathe. And the list goes on. But collectively, we cannot breathe globally as humans right now. And there is something that is happening. God is ushering a shift into and onto us that is bigger and greater than we all know and that we can all see at this moment. And so for me, collectively recentering myself so that I can breathe. What can I do to help push my breath up and out of my diaphragm so that I can breathe? And in that moment of breath, I can regain my composure so that I can remember that I have to have more gratitude, more love, and more compassion and more empathy. We need more of those things, and we need them not yesterday. We need them now in this moment, greater than anything else that you can imagine on the planet. Imagine pouring all of your love into someone you love, your child, your mother, your father, your siblings, your aunt, your uncle. Imagine the kind of love that you have for one of those people in your lives. Now imagine that type of love that you pour into a stranger. Pour
Mhm.
that type of energy and breath love into a stranger. So for me, the breath is where I'm holding steadfast and reminding myself that, Angelique, everything is going to be okay. I don't know how it's going to be okay, but it is going to be okay. Keep breathing. I feel like the fish in Nemo. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. So that's how I am. That's my suggestion for moving through this moment.
Mhm.
Are there any other questions?
Well, I wanted to comment on, be real clear for the people who are wondering, can I take this course? Would it be all right for me to take this course? I want to ask you something. Item number one, do you eat? Okay. If you are a creature who eats, then you ought to take this course, right? And you're concerned if you have particular taboos and there is an ingredient in one of our recipes, then your question would be, how do I alter it in order to continue? Now, what comes to mind for me immediately is one of the things that I have a taboo against is okra, okay? But okra is very, very important as a medicine. And there's a difference between eating something for pleasure and eating something for medicine. So if you're wondering about that, ask yourself, do I eat? Okay. If you are concerned about the herbal part of it, my thing to you is take a look at all them pills that you got from the doctor, okay? and find out what the origin of them are. What is the main ingredient there? And most of the time, what you'll find is that a plant has been turned into a rock in that chemical process. And you want to think about how many rocks you want sitting in your gut versus how many leaves you want sitting in your gut. Okay. And when it comes to the issue of conjure, if you have any questions about how that works, pose them to me and I can explain them to you using the laws of physics. Okay. Using the laws of physics. So we're not playing here. We're not playing here. And the last thing I want to say about that is we live in a culture that does not respect the art and the science of everyday life. Okay. And this often leaves people feeling as if you're not smart enough, you're not big enough, you're not important enough. This course will show you that if you're a stay at home mom who does not have a career, you are important. If you're a grandmother who has contributed and is now resting, you are important. Okay? You are important. I don't want to hear nobody come at me with, I ain't enough or I don't fit. I'm not having it. We're not having it. I can tell you that right now. We're not having it. Okay. Any question that you have should be posed so that we can ruminate on it and you can come out of this course feeling empowered, okay, feeling healthy, and having ways to make yourself and your family happy.
Thank you, Yeye.
Hmm.
Well, ladies, if there are no other questions coming in through our live stream, I'd like to thank everyone who is tuned in to the live stream for this quick glimpse into Cook, Cure, and Conjure. Remember, if you are interested in our 7-month online course, please visit the website at www.naturalchoicesbotanica.com. Click on the Cook, Cure, and Conjure tab, and there you will find a short detail about each module for each month, and you can register right there on that page. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share our information on all of our social media platforms. You can find Cook, Cure, and Conjure on Instagram as well as Facebook. And if you have any questions after you watch the replay of this or after it airs, please go to one of those platforms and leave your questions so that we can answer them in a timely manner. The course begins on the 24th of June, which is just a few weeks away, and we'd love to have men and women in the course. This is not a course just for women. We'd love to see some men in this course.
Yeah.
You also have, you have some healing work to do as well, and so we'd love to have some men on board for this course as well. Yay or Flora, if you'd like to have any last things to say before we log.
I hope everybody can hear me. I think there was, I'm not sure if we have one last question, but it's getting dark here in Costa Rica. So I thank you all and just wanted to remind you, Cook, Cure, and Conjure. It's an appointment. You've been invited. And I really hope you show up because you're needed, brothers and sisters. You're needed very direly.
Yay.
Somebody asked if we
Mm-hmm.
have any advice to deal with our collective anxiety. Okay. And again, I want to say that that's something that Leilani and I will be discussing in the forum that we do on June 11th. But my immediate response to that is, even though we are sheltering in place and having to stand 6 feet away from each other with mask on. Physical distancing should not result in emotional distancing and spiritual distancing. As human beings, we have the power to send thought and feeling through the air across time and space. And so, tuning in to the energy of the collective will make you feel connected to the collective. I'd like to give you an example. As a storyteller, as a dancer, as a person who loves to perform, being isolated in my basement apartment by myself could be crazy making, except for the fact that what I do, beside holding things on Zoom, what I do is I go on YouTube and I go to the live concerts of artists that I know and love. And I either identify with the people in the audience and sing along, or I get on stage and I play Shakare with them. So I remain connected and do not allow myself to be a person who is isolated. And I can tell you honestly that I can stand in my kitchen and think something. I have proof right now. A couple of days ago, I said to myself I was going to make some orange zest. Yesterday, somebody dropped a whole bag of oranges on my front steps. Okay. This is a time for you to test your ability to send thoughts and feelings. See if you can connect with others. Don't let the spirit of isolation get the best of you.
And the last thing, the website, you can go to the website today, but the links will not be ready till tomorrow. So the website again is www.naturalchoicesbotanica.com. You will be able to click on the page that says Cook, Cure, and Conjure, and you will be able to register beginning tomorrow, June 3rd. If you have any questions until then, like I said, please leave them on one of our social media platforms on IG or Facebook, and we will get back to your question as soon as possible. In the meantime, in between time, thank you, Yay Yay from California. Thank you, Flora from the beautiful shores of Costa Rica. Thank you to our tech team in the background doing this live streaming for us and handling all of our backroom work. We appreciate you. It takes teamwork to make any dream work. And so this dream is on the move. So we thank you. Be sure to get registered for Cook, Cure, and Conjure, everyone. Tell someone it's a 7-month online, easy to do course. We'd love to see you there. If you have any questions, don't forget to hit us up. Everyone, stay prayed up, keep your ears to the ground, keep your eyes open, stay compassionate, stay vigilant about your surroundings, be safe, and remember, God loves you, and so do we. Bye.
Ashayo.
Ashe.